afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
20, that's pretty good.
And welcome to the 10th Annual Hillcrest Lanes Men's Intermediate. This is our finals. Excuse me. Our moral support sponsors are Golden Image Printing, Dick Catterjohn, and Kenton Times. Our shirts for first and second place will be given by Theo's Painting, and our trophy for second place will be given by Hillcrest Lanes. Third through sixth place shirts are given by the Kenton Bowling Association. Last place trophy will be given by Zoller Milk Station. Pins over average plaque will be given by Brian McGrath. Most splits converted will be given by Hillcrest Bartenders. High Game Actual and High Series Actual will be given by the Kenton Bowling Association. Currently in sixth and our alternate for the tournament is Roger McGrath. He is sponsored by J.R. Valentine's. Currently in fifth and sponsored by Weaver's Auto Sales and Service is Donald Omweg. In fourth position is Steve McCullough, sponsored by Nelson's Insurance. In third position currently is Lewis Heilman, sponsored by Midway Restaurant. In second position is Brian Zachariah, sponsored by Mr. Cahill's Automotive. And our leader for this year is Roger Langenkamp. He is sponsored by Langenkamp Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and GMC Track. Okay, gentlemen. The alternate will take his seat, and we will have bowlers 5 and 4 stay up here, which is Steve and Donald. They have chosen not to take shadow ball since they just warmed up. Donald has chosen to start first, or Steve to start. Steve to start first on alley 5. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. Steve has made the choice. I'm backwards. Oh, okay. Steve made the choice. Donald will be starting first. Good luck, gentlemen.
And welcome everybody to the 10th Annual Men's Intermediate. Just finished with the Women's Intermediate. Champion was Sue Douglas. And we're underway. Donald Omweg will be bowling against Steve McCullough. Don's first shot is light and he leaves the 1-2-8. 1-2-9. We get a different angle here.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough angle here.
You get to stick around here with me today.
Yeah, no TV timeouts. No, I'm here to stay.
And he converts his spare.
Steve McCullough up. His sponsor is Nelson's Insurance Agency. He came in with a 176 average. He finished after the 24-game match play with a 189.9.
Steve had a very strange tournament. He either shot real good or real bad.
But he done more real good than he did real bad. He made one shift. He was on 13th and he went all the way up to 3rd.
And that shift he shot games of, he was in the 180s and the 150s and then 244 and 275. And he converts his spare.
We got two different kind of bowlers in this first game. Don is more of the quiet one.
Yeah.
Steve, he likes to have fun with the crowd.
Steve shot in the second frame. It's Brooklyn, but he carries a strike. We have an NFL thin crowd here today.
Really?
The women, it was crowded, and for the men, it's
Couch
pretty
potato
sparse.
time
Yeah,
now.
Couch potato time.
Don's sponsor is Weaver Auto Sales and Service.
And Don's second frame is a strike.
And we got it on a tied match.
Don's come a long way in a short number of years.
Yes.
He's a 140, 130, 140 average bowler most of his life, and then in the last 2 years he's really put it together, and he's up in the 170s and 180s.
Yes. He came into this tournament averaging 175. He finished after the 24-game match play with a 189.
And his third frame shot also goes Brooklyn, but it carries a strike. Once again, you'll have to be patient. We're in the press box.
Up there in the top row. Steve's up.
And
in
you
the-
forgot your binoculars.
Yeah. My eyesight ain't that great either.
Okay.
Steve in the third frame. Steve had 9 200 games. Like I said, his high game was a 275 game. He strung the first 9. His low game was a 126, so that's,
Yeah.
it was a 149 pin difference there. He had 19 splits. He converted 3 of them. He bowls only one time during the week, and that's in the Sportsman League, Thursday night. He's been bowling for 31 years. He's a veteran.
Yeah, Steve's bowled. He's bowled in a number of the invitationals and a number of the intermediates. I believe this is his first time ever making the finals.
He leaves 6-10 on alley 5 in the 4th frame. He goes converted. He does. Gives him 68 in the 3rd frame. Don comes up. He's had 6 200 games. His high game was a 235. His low game was 145. That's a tight. Leaves a 6 pin.
And Don has, as his high and low score shows, Don was much more consistent to having fewer 200 games, but having the same
Yes.
average.
He had 20 splits. He converted 3 of them. And he only bowls in 1 league, and that's on the Sunday night mixed doubles. He spares. Gives him 69 in the 3rd.
And Steve was 68.
Don has a 1 pin lead. Don's bowled for 22 years, and he's averaging 185.6 on the championship pair, 5 and 6. Does not come up. Gives a 1-2. Don beat Steve in the match play on lane 7 and 8, a 195 to a 154.
Converts the spare. Kind of worried there for a little bit.
Yeah, he get a little body English. With our angle, we can't really actually see how far off he would have been. Steve gets up there, it's 5th frame. The spare up. And strikes. Gives him a 1 pin lead.
Steve's been at this game as long as I can remember. And he throws the ball no different than he did 20 years ago.
Oh, baby.
Ooh.
Leaves a 4-7-9-10 split, which is convertible. He averages 204.25 on this championship pair.
He misses them all.
Goes in the gutter. That could be the crucial mistake, especially on a strike.
Yeah, on a strike, if he gets just 2 of them, it turns it into 4.
Yeah.
Don high again, but he gets a strike.
A little bit more on the Brooklyn side, tight. Makes out with the strike.
They certainly aren't wasting any time. Hangs high again and leaves the 3-pin. Don has also an uncharacteristic 3-step approach. It's very hard to keep good, consistent timing with a 3-step approach.
Nope, don't like that shot.
Oh, just barely.
But it must have came back. He started shaking his head when he let
Let
go
go,
of that
yeah.
ball. Spares up. Louis Heilman will be meeting the winner of this match. He's starting to warm up on lane 12.
His shot down lane 6 leaves him a split. Leaves the 2-5-7.
Steve talking to it.
He's always talking.
Chomping that gum a lot too right now.
Ooh, and he wraps it around the 7 pin. That's 2 opens in a row for Steve.
Gives him 119 in the 7th frame.
We also had something different happen this year. We had to use 2 alternates. I don't think that's ever happened in any of the tournaments. And almost 3. Jerry Hart, the high qualifier for the tournament, cut his middle finger on Wednesday or Thursday night this week and almost had to drop out.
Yeah. Misses the pocket completely, leaving the 1-2-4. Steve pulls that shot, picking the 2-4 off the 1-2-4, giving him 3 opens now in a row. 128 in the 8th frame. Don can just stay clean. He pretty much got this game wrapped up. Ooh, that was a very tight shot. Leaving the 4-7 on alley 6. Women today bowled their championship round on 7 and 8. And the men bowling their championship round on 5 and 6. Needless to say, I don't like lanes 5 and 6 bowling championship round. 7 and 8's my pair. Picks it up.
Don has, again, he doesn't seem to have found the pocket, but he's, when he does have to shoot his pair, he makes sure he gets it. He's well on his way to winning the match because of it.
He's a pretty good consistent spare shooter. But he's gonna start making some adjustments.
As lanes dry out, he's going to start hooking more and more, and he's going to get in trouble in probably late in the second game or something if he doesn't start finding a pocket. He'll start leaving splits and won't get out of them as often.
I don't like the way he's giving that body.
Seems to be worried every time. Seems to be worried every time he throws the ball in the spare shot.
Steve's gonna have to start striking to even.
Yeah, he's got to strike out to have a shot. Yeah, he goes
Hold
Brooklyn
that one and ooh.
Leaves the 9-pin. Just barely converts it. We had I was looking at last year's winners, the top 12, and out of them 12, there's a lot of them because of work. It wasn't even bowling this year.
Yeah.
I was surprised at Travis Rao, Kip Webb, Jerry Rodenberger, and Steve Brim. They're not even bowling this year unless they're bowling a morning shift somewhere.
Jerry Rodenberger bowled on Tuesday morning. He had to establish an average.
Yeah. Steve carries the first one in the 10th. But even if he strikes out, this game's more or less history. If Steve strikes out, Don would need to get 2 pins on the first ball. Throw a good shot, but that leaves the 10 pin.
Good old 10 pin. And he finishes up with a 168. So Don will go to our next match after he finishes up with the 10th frame. He'll be meeting Louis Heilman. Don's got a possible 200 going. And he strikes in the first. Gives him a 184 in the 9th. Strike up.
There's his first good shot.
Good shot. Can tell that one all the way. Holds it high again, leaving the 6'8" or 6'10". He has a 212. 212 to 168 first match. So he'll go on and play Louis Heilman the next match.
Winner of the first match is Donald Amway, 212 to Steve McCullough's 168. Good game, gentlemen. Louis, you get 2 practice balls on each lane, and then you'll have your choice. Winner of the 50-50 is 213-682. 682. Wilma Albert won it.
I drew your mom's name.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the second match to begin, I'll run through some of the bowlers and their sponsors. Jerry Hart, our high qualifier. His sponsor was Kenton Structural and Pork Chop Farms. Larry Rogers, the second qualifier, 3D construction. Tom Risch, third qualifier, Risch Masonry. Jeff Williams, McCullough Industries. Jim Ellis, Kenton Car. Louis Heilman, Midway Restaurant. John Murray, Barrel Lounge. Doug Hogue, G.E. Angelo's Pizza.
Louis has elected to start. He'll start on lane 5.
Excuse me, Doug Hogue's sponsor was the Boneheads.
Friday night bowling team. Good name, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be a bonehead too.
Louis Heilman, first frame, he turned around assuming he'd left the 7-pin and he got kicked out. He starts match number 2 with a strike. Don shot in the first frame. A little high, leaves a 4-pin. Shot at the spare, and he converts it.
Don up from second frame, spare up.
Yeah, it's going to be high again, yep. Don looks to me like his arm swing's a little ahead of him when he hits the foul line. He's about 6 inches out in front, and it's causing him to pull the ball.
And he converts this spare. Louis Heilman comes up in the second frame. He came into the starting average of a 179. His 24 game average is up to 193. His sponsor is Midway Restaurant.
He's been bowling for 34 years.
We have some ageless veterans that way here.
Ageless wonders. And his shot in the second frame is way left. He leaves the 1-3-6-9.
He's had 8 200 games in the 24. His high game was a 221. And his low game was a 156. He only had 14 splits, and he converted 4 of them.
And he converts a spare. Louis also, like Don, uses a 3-step approach. The only difference between Lou and 34 years ago is his hair's a little thinner.
Yeah.
He bowls exactly the same way he did when he started. Throws the ball right off the corner. Extremely short approach, and he's extremely accurate.
He bowls in one league during the week, and I do believe that's the Sportsman League.
He buries that one. That's what we like to hear, the crunch.
Yeah. Rock the walls. Don gets up in the third frame. 2 spares.
Yeah, he's way right on that one. He lost that one at the bottom.
Ooh.
And he misses in the spare. I was looking at Don's stat sheet, and that was mentioning that for years and years he carried in the 130s and 140s, and found out that he's been bowling for 22 years, and not until a couple of years ago has he paid attention to his game and wanted to get better and worked on it.
Yeah. And he's done that.
There's a good shot.
And he's another one, the job he has to bowl on the weekends because he works during the week on second shift. He could possibly be one of the candidates we'll be seeing sometime in the future in April.
Yeah.
The Classic.
Louis' shot is a good one, but he leaves a 7-pin.
Louis beat Don in match play 196 to 180 on lanes 3 and 4. He's averaging 183 on this pair.
His shot is a good one.
Ryan Zachariah will be the next opponent, the winner of this match. He's warming up on lane 12. He's another interesting person that had a good shift. Went way
last
up.
shift last Sunday, a week ago.
Yeah, last
today.
Sunday. He had one heck of a shift.
Louis shot in the 4th frame. 5th frame is just light and leaves the 2-pin. And the spare shot is good. So Louis Hammond clean through 5 frames, sitting on 79 in the 4th. Don Holloway with a spare will be at 64 in the 4th. He carries a strike, and that changes that.
Wipes that. He needed that to make up for the open he had in the 3rd frame. Puts him back into the match.
A little high on the left-hand lane, leaving the 3-6-10 spare. And Don shot at the 3-6-10, and he gets it.
Makes the conversion, give him 91 in the 5th frame. Down by 8. Brings up Louis on lane 6. With the spare up. It's a little high. He's a 6-pin.
Last night he had a strong shift to keep himself in the top 5. Versus spare. It's pretty interesting to watch some of the shifts, and that, like we said before, how many people jump from medium positions in the standings to almost clear to the top. It was real interesting to watch that. Brian Zachariah, he went from, I believe, 12th to 3rd in one shift. Parries that one and leaves a 10 pin.
And that's a lot of times some of the bowlers get down on themselves when they have a bad shift, or they just don't realize that all it takes is one good shift to get them right back up in there. A lot of bowlers worry about the other bowlers, and they had a good shift and you had a so-so shift, and it kind of gets them down. And more or less, you got to worry about yourself. Don't worry about the other ones.
It's like our tournament leader. He's Roger Langkamp. Every time he had a bad shift, he kept, well, how far am I dropping? How far am I dropping?
Yep.
And he ended up being the leader after every shift but the first.
Yep. Louis misses the 10 pin. Gives him his first open of the day.
And Don's shot. The 7th frame. Extremely light. He leaves the 5 pin.
Gonna turn into one good game. Close.
And he converts it. That's something that's been true all day long, except for the women's championship match.
Yeah.
The match is close all day. And he's light again and leaves the 2-5.
Don bowling in the 8th frame.
And he converts it again.
Has the 2-pin lead over Louis. The spare up. Louis will come up. He'll be on 6 with an open frame. See if he can rebound.
Looks like a good shot. Yes, it is.
Didn't let the 10-pin bother him. He came back and
He's been around too long to let stuff like that behind.
something a little 10-pin bother. A lot of bowlers, it does put a little bit of effect on them, and I guess that's the true character comes out when you see if you can be a bowler that can rebound.
It appears like another good shot, and it is. Another strike.
Doubles up. Puts pressure on Don now to come back. Seesaw battle.
Don Omwig's shot here in the 9th frame. He needs one. Pretty good shot, just like there's a double wood spare, the 2-8.
That looked like one of his better shots. It just didn't come up.
Oh, and he missed it.
Took the 2 off. Gives him his 2nd open of the game. Puts him at 155 in the 9th. And plus putting a lot more pressure on him because he's going to have to strike out in the 10th.
That's the only way he's going to force Louis to do anything at all is to strike out.
Ooh,
First one,
yeah.
good shot, and he gets it.
First he thought he was going to leave the 4-9.
4-9,
The 4
yeah.
fell and rolled over and hit the 9. those kind of breaks you need when you need them.
Yeah. So I'd like to have a few of them in some key spots during the course of 20 years of bowling.
Oop, looks like it's going tight. That probably just about does it.
If I remember right, Don was our leader after round 1.
Yeah. He's stayed up there, I think, throughout the whole tournament.
He's been in, I think, no lower than 5th.
Fifth. So he'll finish up in 4th place. Blue will finish out his game. He's got a double on.
Just needs to keep the ball on the lane to win.
Tight. Carries it. Gives him a turkey.
And he will be the winner. Next match will consist of teammates.
Yeah.
I believe Louie and Zach, well, they bowled together on Friday nights for years. I'm not sure if they bowled together on Friday nights this year.
No.
Probably Thursdays.
Thursday night, Sportsman League. Bowling, same team, Morton. Bowling.
Sportsman League's the biggest men's league in the house, 16 teams. And if we had room, it'd be bigger.
Yeah. Good game for Louie. Finishes out with a 205 against Don Omwig's 175.
Good game, gentlemen. Louis Heilman will be proceeding on. He rolled a 205 to Donald Omwig's 175. Coming over now is Brian Zachariah. He'll get 2 shadow balls on each lane.
Yeah.
I'll run through some more of the bowlers and their sponsors. Once again, we say this over and over and over again, but the sponsors, without them, this tournament would not happen.
That's right.
So Rick Brown, who qualified 9th, his sponsor was Theo's Painting. Jim Hawley, 10th. Kenton Surplus. Don Barker, 11th. B&B Body Shop. Brian Zachariah, qualified 12th and will be bowling the next match. Mr. Cahill's Automotive. Larry Holland, who had to drop out in the last shift. His sponsor was Sam's Place. Dan Wells, Price Funeral Home. Brian McGrath, Eagles 2163. And Steve McCullough, sponsored by Nelson's Insurance. We did have some moral support sponsors. It was not as big as the women's. Certainly the women's year in and year out seem to get a lot of moral support sponsors. But the moral support sponsors for the men's tournament was Golden Image Printing, Dick Catterjohn, and Kenton Times. Each donating, I believe, $25 to the prize fund.
This will be an interesting match. Brian and Lou met the first game
Brian,
of
it's
the
your
tournament
choice.
on the same pair.
Louis will start on 5.
And Brian,
Good luck, gentlemen.
Brian took that game 180 to 177.
Crowd's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Got deputies and everything.
And Louis goes just a little high, avoids the split, leaves the 4-pin. Louis is very basic. He plays the same line almost every time he bowls. His spare shooting is good because he throws the ball fairly straight.
Don't see him too many times doing a movement on the lanes. It's more speed.
Speed, yeah. The drier they are, the faster he throws it.
Ryan Zachariah, his sponsor is Mr. Cahill's Automotive. He came in with a 177 average. He finished after the 24-game match play with a 192.2, and he had 11 200 games.
I think if you looked at his stat sheet, you had all the games in front of you. That one shift he bowled on last Sunday night would have his top 4 games in it because he shot a 943 actual in one shift.
His high game of the tournament was a 256. His low game was a 138.
Second frame shot is perfect. Yeah, that shift he bowled last Sunday night, he averaged 235 for 4 games. And I don't think he said he still never shot a 700 because he had a 699 for his first 3 games.
Yeah. He's only bowled for 7 years too, so.
And he's bowled 7 years in men's leagues. He bowled some junior leagues. But I believe he did quit for quite some time before he came back. Lou's shot in his second frame on lane 6 was way high. He leaves the 4-7.
Roger Lagenkamp will be meeting the winner of this match. He's the leader after the 24-game match play. He's warming up in lane 12 now.
Lou converts his spare in the second frame.
Lou steps up there, lane 5 in the third frame. Got a spare up. Don't come up. He leaves the 1-2-4. Gives him 35 in the second frame. Spare.
It's amazing to me how they can make that 3-step approach work.
Yeah.
If I tried that, I'd fall on my face.
Well, after 34 years, I imagine you'd have it down pat by now.
Do it in his sleep. And Brian's shot in his third frame is a little light, leaves the 3-2-5 spare.
Brian bowls in 2 leagues here at Hillcrest during the week. That's the Thursday Night Sportsman League and Friday Night Wildcat League.
And he converts it.
He's come a long way in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has.
Really improved on his average.
And it seems like there's quite a few guys that, even though to me and probably to you too, that the shot has actually got tougher over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, Hillcrest.
Averages overall have probably went down a couple pins, but you got a small group of guys who have improved over that time period.
This is a tough house.
And Brian's shot in his 4th frame, he buries it.
Blues up. 4th frame. Spare up.
That's a good shot there. Oh, he gets a bad break.
Leaves at 8.
That's the one thing that can stop him dead in his tracks because of how hard he throws the ball and how straight he throws it. It's the 8-10 split.
Throws a backup ball at it.
Yeah, he's always done that.
Gives him his first open in this game. 62 in the 4th.
Blue will come back. He'll bury this one.
Yep.
And he gets it. And it's almost, Lou over there, it's almost automatic. When he gets an open, he's going to put the ball back in the pocket and give himself a chance to strike.
Oh, yeah. Ryan hits it tight. He's 6-10.
Ryan shot at his spare, and he gets it.
He has a Dutch 200 going. I noticed Brian kind of thinning out at the top too, and he's not that old.
I think he's a year younger than I am. He's a lot of fun too. You couldn't tell if he was born good or bad.
Yeah, he used to live down in my neighborhood, and him and I used to hang out when we was growing up.
Shot in the 6th frame goes a little light, and he leaves a bucket combination with 2-4-7-5. All kinds of ways to chop this spare. And he misses it completely.
Gets his first open of the game. He's down to 103 in the 6th frame. Blue comes up with the strike up. Shot, a little tight. He's the 4-pin.
And he converts his spare. So we're looking at pretty much an even match through 6 frames. Once again, an even match. If these all blowouts, it wouldn't be any fun.
That's right.
And Lou's shot in the 7th, working on a spare. Is a good one, as you could hear. Brian's shot in the 7th frame is light, missing the head pin to the left, to the right, leaving the 1-2.
Oh.
Shot at the spear.
This up.
One pin difference through 6 frames.
Tight, but it carries. Louis comes up in the 8th frame with a strikeout. It's a very tight match.
Take a little control with one here, though. And Louis' shot in the 8th frame is to the right. Almost.
Seems like the bowlers are having a little problem on lane 6, all the strikes. To me, I think it's been on lane 5.
Seems like, from what I can tell, it looks like 6 a little tight, a little more oil on the lane. Ball sliding too far, and they can't get it to react. And he missed it.
Oh, Louis.
He missed that shot. Missed that 2-pin spare way to the left.
You don't see Lou do that much.
No. Louis shot here in the 9th frame. And he's light again and leaves another 2-pin. Once again, it looks like nobody wants to take control of the match. Or they want it too bad,
Really.
and he missed it to the right.
Missed this one to the right. Back-to-back blows by Louis Heilman. Puts Brian in a driver's seat at the moment.
Brian shot in the 9th frame, and he does take control. As he doubles up in the 8th and 9th, Louis Heilman misses 2 single pins in the 8th and 9th.
One of the bowlers that might take effect missing the same pin back to back. Miss it once, you're thinking about it, you'll miss it again.
And he throws another one.
Brian got this game wrapped up. Nothing Lou can do now.
This match is,
Bring it back.
though tight through 8 frames, all of a sudden in the 9th and 10th, it's history before they're done. Another good shot.
Brian must have made an adjustment. Hitting him real packed. I mean, there's no doubt about it when he hits the pocket. He's going to have a 2+. Strikes here, he'll have a 213. Possibly give him a little advantage over Roger coming in.
Finish with 212.
Nice game, Brian.
Louis got it.
No, Louie.
Lee must have something to do.
Yeah.
She wants to get this done. Louis finishes out his game. And first ball is a strike. You've been in the top spot before going into the last match. Does it feel, how does your reaction feel when you see a bowler just finish off like Brian did? Does it psych you out a little bit, or? I've never been in that position. I had to work myself up the ladder to get to that final spot.
No matter how many times you've been there, it certainly does, because you're going to that match hoping that he's lost. And when you see somebody string 4 or 5 at the end of a game, you know he's not.
Now, Louie.
The best way to,
Now I can. Thank you, Louie.
the best way to fight that is to try
Brian
not to pay
Zachariah
any
won that
attention to what's
game,
going on,
212
but
to
you really
Louie
can't.
Heilmann's 158. Now coming over is Roger Langenkamp. He'll get 2 shadow balls on each lane and his choice once he has thrown them.
We'll run off the last of our list of bowlers and their sponsors. Qualifying 17th was our 3rd place finisher, Don Omweg. 4th place finisher, Don Omweg, Weaver's Auto Sales and Service. Roger McGrath qualified 18th, sponsored by J.R. Valentine's. Dwayne Roby 19th, NNR Video and Ohio Northern University. Ray Berry qualified 20th, Schindel Wolf Stephen Stout Funeral Home. Roger Langenkamp, our tournament leader. Langenkamp Chevrolet Pontiac Olds Buick GMC. Dean Brim qualified 22nd, Morton Buildings Incorporated. Steve Christopher 23rd, Grubel's Custom Harvesting. And our 24th qualifier this year was Brad Pearson, sponsored by Beltec Industries. Once again, thanks to all the sponsors and their support. I know there's 24 guys out here who definitely appreciate it. It gives them the opportunity to do something that's rare, competing head-to-head in a tournament format. There are, I'm at a lot of different houses in the area and around the state, and not very many houses. There are some, but there's not very many houses who have an in-house tournament similar to this. Noreta, they do have one. The point format's different, but as far as having a tournament that's head-to-head competition, they do have one. But most houses don't. And a lot of bowlers wish that they did.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to do something that head-to-head with the guys they bowl with every week in a format like that.
Yeah, we first started out as just a top 24 for the men and women. And then we started up the intermediate for the next 24 for, excuse me, for the men and women. Now we got it for the YABA.
Yeah, the top 12 in the YABA have a one weekend event. And they really
I take
enjoy
it your choices for Brian to start?
That's good.
Okay. Good luck, gentlemen.
We get ready and get started to find out who our 1994 champion will be.
Brian's opening shot on lane 7 or
Brian
lane
saying
5.
he wants to say, I'm going to be the champion.
It's an opening statement, no doubt.
Definitely found the line. This could be a good match because Roger, to my eyes, he's probably, if the award would be given out for the most improved from year to year, from last year, he'd probably be getting it because he has really improved. I'm pretty sure he helped
His
him through
opening
it all.
shot. Yeah, we've been working a little bit together. I try. I don't like to constantly tell people what they're doing wrong doing this. I give people pointers, and hopefully they'll go from there. I like to take what the biggest thing wrong with somebody's game is and let them know what it is and that they need to work on it.
Roger Langenkamp is sponsors Langenkamp Chevrolet, Pontiac, Olds, Buick, and GMC.
Oh, beautiful shot, and leaves a solid 4-pin.
He came in, starting average was 174, and after 24 games average, he's up to 194.8. And he's currently, if I do believe, he's carrying a pretty good average in the league.
Yeah, his average in the league's actually higher than his tournament average. He's in, I think, about 196.
Yeah.
He got sick during the week this week and just barely held on to his lead position yesterday. And he covers a spare. The interesting thing is that Brian and Roger bowled the last game last Sunday, the 16th game of the tournament, and tied at 244. And here they are head-to-head in the championship match.
Yeah.
Ryan misses the head pin to the right on his second frame shot, leaving the 1-2-8. If he converts this spare, they'll be even. A little right, and he misses it and leaves the 2-pin.
Crowd quiet. You can hear a pin drop. And this is the crucial
Ryan's
match of
third
the
frame
day.
shot, a little more speed than he's been throwing it. And he leaves the 1-2. Yeah, that was definitely more speed than he was throwing it late in the first game he bowled. And he converts it this time.
Roger up now, the third frame. He had 10 200 games. His high game was a 246. His low game was a 147. He had 22 splits and converted 2 of them. He bowls in 2 leagues during the week. That's the Wednesday Independent and Sportsman League Thursday
And his
night.
third frame shot's a good one.
Roger averages 191 on this pair. And he's only been bowling for 2 years.
Yeah, he's been bowling leagues for 2 years. He got out of the military, and that's when he started. And Roger's fourth frame shot. Takes a long time. The longest of any of the bowlers that were in the top 5.
Yep.
And he buries that one too. Our second place for instance women, she'd have a game, Julie Fresco would have a game done before Roger threw one ball.
Yeah, really.
Brian's fourth frame shot is buried. All right. Yeah, we want to see a match. We don't want to see what happened to the women.
Yeah. I'd like to go to the last ball. That looks good.
And he buries another one. And we'll see if Roger Langenkamp can answer. his shot in the 5th frame. Come out of it good, and that's a good shot, and almost left a split. That's one of his threats to his game is he throws the ball, doesn't throw a whole lot of hook. And if his ball's not turning over good when it hits the pocket, he can leave that 8-10.
Yeah.
He gets out of it though and leaves just the 8-pin this time. And he converts it.
Gives him 89 through 4 frames. Spare up. Brian has 48 with a double.
And he buries another one. And Brian can stay right with him with one right here. Looks like a good shot. A little light, and it carries. Brian finished 4th in last year's tournament and also won the Pins Over Average award. They're giving an award for number of pins you are, number of actual pins you are over your average. And his shot is another good one. Oh, just a hair tight and leaves the 4-pin. Talk about a game of inches. If that ball's a 1/4 inch to the right, that's a strike.
Yep.
And he converts it.
Roger up in his 7th frame. Working on a strike.
And another good shot. And he got out of that one. The old 8-10 again. Looked like he threw the ball just a hair too fast, not allowing it to finish into the pocket. And got a break and got out of the 8-10 split. He converts it. He's doing a very good job of keeping his emotions under control because Roger wears them on his sleeve.
Yeah. Taking deep breaths. Taking a little bit more time.
Threw a bad shot, and he knew it as soon as he let go of it. And he goes Brooklyn and carries the strike. Part of the game. Brian's shot here in the 8th frame. And it's a little high, and he
gets the break.
We're even. The breaks that weren't coming for everybody else are happening right here.
Yep. the championship match.
Roger Langenkamp setting with a 2-pin lead, 149 to 147 in the 7th. Strike up.
Game's coming to a close.
And he goes way left.
You knew it.
Use the 6-pin. And Brian's shot at his spare. Looks to be good, and is.
I don't really see Brian wearing a baseball cap of some sort
Yeah.
while he bowls, but this tournament don't allow them to bowl with
there's
hats on the finals.
It's a dress code, but it's not that strict.
No.
Roger's shot in the 9th frame is a good one, and it's a split.
He's a 5-7.
And that's that shot, just a little too much speed as it's entering the pocket and not going enough right to left.
Yeah.
Tough decision. Do you go for it or go for one?
Yeah.
You give it a run, but he got one of them.
His first open of this game. He's
Coming a bad time, too.
Yeah, 177 in the 9th. But Roger's got the capability of being able to strike out in the 10th to force Brian to mark. So it's not over yet.
And Roger's first shot in the 10th frame. Appears to be a good one, and is. Best shot of the match. This is an important shot right here.
Yeah. Just a little bit more time. Make sure he throws a good shot.
Oh!
Tight 8.
The old fast 8. He used the 4-7. Put it where it needed to be, though. It's very frustrating, but it is part of the game. Throw shot after shot. They're good ones, and you don't know what's going to happen. And he converts the spare.
Finishes out with a 197.
He does force Brian to mark. Brian Zachariah
Brian's
must
been
mark.
hitting it tight.
You never know. And he buries it. All Brian Zachariah has to do is stay behind the foul line now. This match is tied until the ball hits the pins, and when the ball hits the pins, Brian will be the winner.
And you don't hear no bzzz.
Nope. You don't hear that foul light go off. Brian's a winner. And Brian Zachariah will be the 1994 Men's Intermediate Champion. Roger Langenkamp will be the runner-up. An extremely good tournament for Roger Langenkamp. First time he's ever been involved in something like this. Brian Zachariah has been in a few times. He's never been this far, though.
Congratulations, Brian. He is this year's champion. He rolled a 207 to Roger Langenkamp's 197. Good game, gentlemen. Excellent.
Yeah, an excellent game.
Roger had a couple bad breaks.
I'm going to introduce the bowlers. If they're here, come forward. In 24th position, Bud Smith. Sam's Place was his sponsor. In 23rd position was Ray Berry. Schindel of Stephen Stout Funeral Home was his sponsor. In 22nd position, Steve Christopher. Rubel's Custom Harvesting was his sponsor. In 21st position was Dwayne Roby. His sponsors were NNR Video and Ohio Northern University. In 20th position was Jerry Hart. His sponsors were Kenton Structural and Pork Chop Farms. In 19th position was Tom Risch. Risch Masonry was his sponsor. In 18th position was Larry Rogers. His sponsor was 3D Construction. In 17th position was Tommy Purcell. His sponsor was Barrel Lounge. In 16th position was Doug Hogue. His sponsor was the Boneheads. In 15th position was Dan Wells. His sponsor was Price Funeral Home. In 14th position was Rick Brown. His sponsor was Theo's Painting. In 13th position was Dean Brim. His sponsor was Morton Buildings Incorporated. In 12th position was Don Barker. His sponsor was B&B Body Shop. In 11th position was Brian McGrath. His sponsor was Eagles 2163. In 10th position was Jeff Williams. His sponsor was McCullough Industries. In 9th position was Jim Hawley. His sponsor was Kenton Surplus. In 8th position was Jim Ellis. His sponsor was Kenton Carr. In 7th position was Brad Pearson. His sponsor was Beltec Industries. In 6th position and the alternate for the tournament was Roger McGrath. His sponsor was J.R. Valentine. Finishing in 5th position was Steve McCullough. His sponsor was Nelson's Insurance. In 4th position was Donald Amway. His sponsor was Weaver's Auto Sales and Service. In 3rd position was Louis Hallman. His sponsor was Midway Restaurant. Runner-up for the tournament, Roger Langenkamp. His sponsor was Langenkamp Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and GMC trucks. And the champion for this year's tournament is Brian Zachariah. His sponsor, Mr. Cahill Automotive. For finishing 12th, Donnie Barker will receive $45. For finishing 11th, Brian McGrath will receive $45. For finishing 10th, Jeff Williams will receive $45. For finishing 9th, Jim Holly will receive $45. For finishing 8th, Jim Ellis will receive $45. For finishing 7th, Brad Pearson will receive $55. Finishing 6th, Roger McGrath will receive a shirt courtesy of Kenton Bowling Association and $65. For finishing 5th, Steve McCullough will receive $75 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Bowling Association. For finishing 4th, Donald Amway will receive $85 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Bowling Association. For finishing 3rd, Louis Heilman will receive $100 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Bowling Association. For finishing 2nd, Roger Langenkamp will receive $175, a trophy from Hillcrest Lanes, and shirt courtesy of Theo's Painting. Finishing in first place, Brian Zachariah will receive $300 and a shirt courtesy of Steele's Painting. Most blitz converted. $50 courtesy of the Kenton Bowling Association. For high series actual, Brian Zachariah will receive $50 courtesy of the Kenton Bowling Association. His series actual was 943. Pins over average trophy at plus 500 pins goes to Roger Langington. Last place trophy will go to Beth Smith, courtesy of Zola Milk Station. Low game for the tournament with a 115. They're going to buy him a beer. Jerry Hart. Dean Brown will get a patch for his all-spare game of 185. And Brian Zachariah was 168 pins over average for his series, Charlie, for his series, for the
Three-game series.
He's 150 pins over average. Thank you, gentlemen. I enjoyed doing this again this year. Top 6 will stay right there for you. Thank you.